Hello students, welcome to Loka and Ice. I welcome you to Economy Insights series. Now in this video, we will be discussing PYQs based upon some basic concepts of economy. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So first question is regarding black money. You can see here, which one of the following effects of creation of black money in India has been the main cause of worry to the government of India. Now see, here 4 options are given and each of the option is almost correct, but we have to select most appropriate option. Central cost to worry. Now see the first option, diversion of resources to the purchase of real estate and investment in luxury housing. Okay, let's move. Investment in unproductive activities and purchase of precious stone and jewelry. This is possible, but don't mark your option immediately. Large donations to political parties and growth of regionalism. This is correct. Okay, because black money mainly used for political funding. But read the fourth one. Loss of revenue to the state exchequer due to tax evasion. This is the most appropriate. Most appropriate option. Okay, why? Because see what question has asked. Which one of the following effects of creation of black money has been the main cause of worry? So loss of money and there is tax evasion is the main cause. So D is the correct answer. Okay, now next question. If you withdraw 1 lakh in cash from your demand deposit account at your bank, the immediate effect on aggregate money supply in the economy will be. See, in one of the previous videos discussion we have seen monetary aggregate, so please revise them. I am not discussing it here, but just remember M1, M2, M3, M4. Okay, so revise them. So here remember, there won't be any change in the aggregate money supply, because what is happening, you're withdrawing 1 lakh from your bank account. So in your bank deposit there will be negative entry of 1 lakh, but cash in hand this will be increased by 1 lakh. So net effect 0. Okay, so it will be to leave it unchanged. This is the correct answer, because there is nothing change, no change is there, because you are withdrawing 1 lakh but you are having in your hand cash is increased by 1 lakh rupees. So D is the correct answer. And also along with this, revise M1, M2, M3, M4. Economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if, now see each and every option carefully, there is technical progress in world economy. This will not guarantee economic growth in country. If there is a economic growth in overall world but you are not reaping fruits of it, then how will your economic growth increase? There is population growth in X. See, increase in population growth doesn't guarantee economic growth. Okay, it doesn't guarantee economic growth. Why? Simply, what if the population is unproductive? If population is unproductive, it will become a burden. Instead of economic growth, there will be economic contraction. There is capital formation in X. Yes, this is correct option. Why? Because this capital formation will give you return. Assets are created, but don't mark immediately. Okay, read fourth one also. The volume of trade grows in world economy. So again incorrect. So C is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Okay, now again an important question. The national income of a country for a given period is equal to national income of a country for a given period. The total value of goods and services produced by the nationals. Okay, sum of total consumption and investment expenditure. So only consumption and investment expenditure is considered. Sum of personal incomes of all individuals. Money value of final goods and services produced. So among the four options, see option number D. Option D is the most accurate. Let's see total value of goods and services produced by nationals. Yes, this is not correct definitions. Sum of total consumption and investment expenditure. Okay, so this is also not, because you are not considering net export. Sum of personal income of all individuals. So this is also incorrect. And money value of final goods and services produced. This is most appropriate option. Okay, this question was asked in 2013. Now what is national income? Remember, national income is, this is NCERT definition. So this is net national product at factor cost. Now along with this, you might remember that in 2015 this revision in GDP calculation methodology. Okay, there is a change in GDP methodology, and upon that question was asked in mains 2021. You can read this. Explain the difference between computing methodology of India's gross domestic product before year 2015 and after year 2015. So three main changes occurred. First one, a base year was changed from 2004-5 to 2011-12. Okay, then change in data source. Earlier the data source used to be index of industrial production, annual survey of industry. Now it is changed to MCA 21 database. Okay, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And change in GDP calculation methodology from factor cost to market price. Okay, these changes have taken place in GDP methodology, and also along with this, sector wise estimations are also given. Sector wise estimation. In terms of GVA. Okay, so what is GVA? GVA is gross value added. Okay, so this is all about the changes in the GDP methodology. Okay, so look at the question again. Here, focus here, national income. This is net national product at factor cost. Okay, and here remember, most of you will get confused in option number A and D. So remember, A is not correct because this refers to GNP. Increase in absolute and per capita GNP do not connote a higher level of economic development if GNP, per capita GNP, increase in absolute per capita real GNP. Per capita, so we can take it GNP upon population. So this is increasing. So it will not show higher level of economic development if industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output. Totally irrelevant option because we are not concerned with sector wise estimations. Again, second one is similar. Now read third one. Poverty and unemployment increase. So this might be option. Why? This might be correct option. Why? See, GNP per capita is increasing. So what does it show? That your GNP, or you can say national, here for simplicity we will take it as GDP. GDP is increasing. But still, despite this, poverty and unemployment is increasing. So what does this show? This increase in GDP. So this increase in GDP is only due to certain section of population. This increase in GDP is only due to certain section of population, and remaining percentage of population is not doing well. That's why there is a higher level of poverty and unemployment is rising. So option C is the correct answer. And D, imports grow faster than export. No, this is exactly opposite. This is also incorrect. So understand it carefully. Next question is about disguised unemployment. So what is disguised unemployment? So let me give you one scenario. Suppose there is farm, and requirement of farm is only 4 laborers, but 6 workers are working. So whatever task is there, that can be done with the help of these 4 workers. But still we have employed additional 2 workers. So marginal productivity of these additional 2 workers is 0. So this scenario is known as disguised unemployment. Let's go option by option. Large number of people remain unemployed. So this is not the definition of disguised unemployment. Alternative employment is not available. Again incorrect. Marginal productivity of labor is 0. This is the most appropriate option. And productivity of worker is low. Again this is also incorrect. So having understood the disguised unemployment, let's understand few other types of unemployment. So first one is seasonal unemployment. So in seasonal unemployment is there for a particular season of the year. Okay, this is generally, this type of unemployment you can see in agriculture sector. Okay, then there is a structural unemployment. So structural unemployment mainly occurs due to mismatch between skills and jobs. Then frictional unemployment. Example of structural unemployment is suppose due to advent of AI, IoT. Industry requires particular skill sets, but you are not having that skill set, then you will lose your job. So that is structural unemployment. Then comes frictional unemployment. This is also known as surge unemployment. Suppose you are not satisfied with your current job and you resign. So you are looking for a new job. So the time period between the date you resign and the date you got your new job, that during that period you are frictionally unemployed. Such type of unemployment is frictional unemployment. And then cyclical unemployment. So unemployment that mainly arises due to business cycles is known as cyclical unemployment. Most of you might have heard regarding the layoffs. So these layoffs due by multinational companies due to business cycle such as recession. And these are some types of unemployment. Now let's see one question which was asked in 2023 UPSC mains. So question was, most of the unemployment in India is structural in nature. So first focus, what do you mean by structural unemployment? Then examine the methodology adopted to compute unemployment in country and suggest improvements. So we will focus on the methodology to measure unemployment. So there are two ways to measure unemployment. First one is the usual principal and subsidiary status, and then current weekly status. Okay, an individual's principal status, whether he is employed, unemployed. Okay, so that is based on activity in which he or she spent a relatively long time. So that is calculated in usual principal status. Okay, so according to this status, a person who is not a worker would be still counted as employed if he has engaged in an economic activity, engaged in economic activity in a subsidiary role for a period not less than 30 days. Okay, so as per this status, if a particular worker is unemployed for say 7 months and employed only for remaining 5 months, then he will still be considered as employed. Despite majority of portion of year he is unemployed, still he will be considered as employed by this status. Then comes current weekly status. So as per current weekly status, if a particular individual has worked for at least an hour in preceding week, then he or she will be considered as employed. So these are two major approaches through which NSSO calculates unemployment data. So remember it. Okay, next question is on capital gains. So under which of the following circumstances may capital gains arise? When there is an increase in the sales of product. This is not capital gain. Okay, if option was such that if there is increase in the value of production, then that will be a capital gain. When there is a natural increase in the value of property owned, yes, this is correct. When you purchase painting and there is a growth in its value, again growth in value. Okay, so 2 and 3 are correct options. A closed economy is an economy in which, so very simple question, closed economy is economy in which neither exports nor imports takes place. Okay, an open economy exactly opposite, both export and import. So these are full tosses for you. So hit long 6 on such questions. Okay, with reference to Indian economy after 1991 reform. So consider following statements. See, such questions are very tough. If you have attempted very less question and you find some logic and etc., then only attempt such question. Worker productivity, okay, increase in urban areas while it decrease in rural areas. That's why very unlikely. Okay, it has increased in both areas due to various technological augmentations, technological innovations. This is incorrect. Percentage share of rural areas in the workforce steadily increase. Okay, mark such keywords, steadily increase. See, there are various downturns during the economic history. So during some period it would have reduced. So steady increase won't be there. Okay, as compared to pre 1991 period, yes, obviously it would have increased. But would it increase steadily? So very unlikely. So eliminate this. In rural areas, the growth in non-farm economy increased. Very logical statement. Why? See, earlier 70% population was involved in agriculture sector, and after 1991 reform, it has reduced to 45%. Okay, still we consider it as a large chunk, okay, which is depend on agriculture. It should have been less, but we have reduced some by some percentage. So obviously, where would have the other chunk have gone? To non-farm sector. This is correct. And the growth rate in rural employment has decreased. So this is also correct statement. So answer is 3 and 4 only. Let's move to next question. Again, an easy question. Which of the following can aid in furthering government objective of inclusive growth? Inclusive growth, where participation of each and every sector is there in the growth. Each and every sector has participated for their own growth. Promoting self-help group, obviously correct. Promoting MSMEs, yes, this is also correct. Implementing RT, this is also correct, because RT will impart education, and education will help to achieve them, to increase their productivity, to gain skills. There will be inclusive growth. So 1, 2, 3 is the correct option. Again, on similar line, inclusive governance, permitting NBFCs to do banking. So this is incorrect, because all of you know that NBFCs are like shadow banking, shadow banks with less regulations. You cannot force them to open branches in certain areas. You have mandate for regular banks regarding priority sector lending. Okay, then you have a certain mandate regarding opening branches in rural area. These mandates are not there for NBFC, or we can say there are less mandate for NBFCs. So this is incorrect. Establishing district planning committees in all districts, correct. Increase in government spending on health, so obviously this will improve the inclusive governance. And strengthening midday meal scheme, again this third and fourth option is similar. So our option is 2, 3, 4 is the correct answer. Okay, so remember, in one of the previous videos we have discussed regarding NBFCs. So revise that section. Okay, now this trend based question, focus here carefully. In the context of Indian economy, consider following statement. The growth rate of GDP has steadily increased in last 5 years. See here, there is a difference between growth rate of GDP and overall GDP. See, statement has said the growth rate has increased. See, growth rate means what? Suppose there is GDP of, our GDP is rupees 100 at 2020, 2020-21. Now there is an increase of 10%. So it will become 110. Next year there is increase of 8%. Okay, so this will increase by approximately rupees 9 to 119 point something. So overall GDP has increased. Overall GDP has increased, but GDP growth rate has reduced. So focus here. The growth rate of GDP has steadily increased in last 5 years. This is incorrect, because there are lot of fluctuations. So this is incorrect. Then the growth rate in per capita income has steadily increased in last 5 years. Again same, fluctuations are there, so neither 1 nor 2 is the correct answer. To obtain full benefits of demographic dividend, what should India do? Now go option wise. Promoting skill development, introducing social security schemes, reducing infant mortality rate, privatization of higher education. Now see here, demographic dividend. Here mainly working population. So what will you do? See, promoting skill development will improve their competence level and improve productivity, jobs. Introducing more social security scheme. This will mainly help at later stage, not this stage. Reducing infant mortality rate. So this is regarding for children. This is for mainly for children. Okay, now don't think these children will become tomorrow's demographic dividend. Don't stretch too much. Privatization of higher education. Now if there is privatization of higher education, then it won't be easily to access private higher education for certain vulnerable section. So this is also incorrect. Promoting, so best option is promoting skill development. So this will increase their competency level and improve their job productivity. So A is the correct answer. A. Okay, despite being highest saving economy, capital formation may not result in significant increase in output due to. Now here also these options are closed. Read weak administrative machinery, might be possible. Illiteracy, okay, not that much close. High population density, again a vague option. High capital output ratio, yes, this is correct option. Now what is high capital output ratio? Let's see that first and then come back to question. What is capital output ratio? Capital output ratio means amount of capital required for producing additional unit of output. Okay, suppose take example, you are producing 100 toys and for additional, that is 101st toy, how much capital you require? How much capital is required? That is capital output ratio. If this requirement of capital is low, then it's good for economy. What does this mean? Your productivity is high, and if this requirement is high, then that is bad for economy. Now let's come back to question. See here. Despite being high saving economy, capital formation may not result in significant increase due to high capital output ratio. Or whatever investment you have, majority of chunk you are utilizing it for that extra output. So our efficiency is low. So this is the correct answer. Now let's see another concept known as incremental capital output ratio. So incremental capital output ratio explains the relationship between level of investment made in economy and subsequent increase in GDP. So lower incremental capital output ratio, more efficient production. Now what is the difference between GDP and ICO? So GDP gives you size of economy, and this incremental capital output ratio tells you how efficiently economy operates. Okay, so understand the difference between these two concepts. Okay, now this question directly picked up from your 11th standard NCRT. 11th standard NCRT, human capital formation. So answer is there in this paragraph. Okay, human capital formation is a concept which is better explained in terms of process which enables individuals of a country to accumulate more capital. Okay, so this is not human capital, but this is the characteristic of physical capital. Increasing the knowledge, skill levels and capacities of the people. It's correct. Accumulation of tangible wealth. Again, this is a feature of physical capital. Accumulation of intangible wealth. Now see option 3 and 4. Accumulation of tangible wealth and intangible. So both cannot be correct at the same time and both cannot be incorrect at the same time. So at least one of them must be there. Okay, so with mere this fact you can eliminate this because both are present at single time. See 1 and 2, again none of them is there in the option, and again 2 also. So correct answer is 2 and 4. Another important point regarding human capital is doesn't depreciate with time. This is another important point, and remaining important point you can go through this screenshot from your 11th NCRT. Okay, on the similar line, question on social capital. Whenever you will have such questions, so always choose most appropriate and most positive option. Okay, what is social capital? Proportion of literates, stock of its building. Again, this is physical capital. Size of population in the working age group. Again, this is not social capital. Level of mutual trust and harmony. Society. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, in a given year in India, official poverty lines are often higher in some states than in other. Because understand the concept. Poverty line, this is decided as per goods and services, and these goods and services are included in basket. So this price of the goods in basket will vary from states to states. Or state number 1, state number 2, state number 3. Based upon this price, poverty line will be decided. But why will this poverty line differ? Because the value of goods and services differ from state to state. Prices of commodities varies from state to state. Okay, so which is the correct option? Option number B, that is price levels vary from state to state. So I hope you have understood it very well. Next question, again the similar one on the lines of previous one, where we understood the difference between GDP growth rate and GDP. The rate of growth of real domestic product has steadily increased in last decade. Rate of growth of GDP, rate of growth of GDP. Now here are two scenarios. This question was asked in 2015. Okay, so from 2015 perspective, this statement is incorrect because we had in 2008 global financial crisis. So during global financial crisis, growth rate reduced. Okay, so this is incorrect. The gross domestic product at market prices has steadily increased in last decade. So since this question was asked in 2015, so for 2005 to 2015 this statement is correct, but at current, that is 2024, from 2014 to 24, this is incorrect. Why? Because in 2020 and 21 we had economic contraction due to COVID-19 pandemic. So if we consider this at current stage, then this becomes incorrect. Okay, and when the question was asked in 2015, that time it was correct. Just remember this. See here chart, you can see this. During 2020-21, there is economic contraction, slowdown, contraction, then recovery. So observe this carefully. And last question, again on similar pattern. See here, tax revenue as a percentage of GDP in India has steadily increased in the last decade. Again, this is incorrect. See, tax revenue as percentage of GDP, not overall. Okay, so remember it, this is incorrect. Fiscal deficit as a percentage of GDP has steadily increased in last decade. No, there is fluctuations. So this is also incorrect. So D is the correct answer. But before wrapping up our session, let's see one important part. So there is tax receipts, trends in taxes. So you can see here. See what you can see. The yellow line is regarding direct tax and indirect tax, green line. So at current stage, direct tax is more than indirect tax. Okay, then what you can see, the gross tax receipt. So in last 5 years, from 11.5 it reduced to 11.2, then again increase, again reduce 11.1, then again increase, again increase. Okay, so decrease, increase, there is fluctuation. So fluctuations in tax receipts. So remember this, fluctuations in tax receipts. And another important point is, see, in 2020-21, this year, indirect tax was more than direct tax. So you may face a statement like, for last 10 years direct taxes were always greater than indirect taxes. So that is incorrect. Okay, and what is tax to GDP ratio for center? It's almost 11%. Okay, so you can observe here, no consistent increase and decrease. No consistency. Okay, so these are some important points. So this that's was all about our discussion regarding PYQs on basic concepts. I hope you have understood all the concepts. If you have some questions or doubts, then you can comment in the comment box, or you can directly contact to us. Thank you for watching the session. All the best for your upcoming examination.